Hi everybody, it's Claire from Handmade at Hudson's, and this is the card we're going to be making today. So moving on with my Claire's Creative Christmas Card Challenge, the 5Cs or 5Cs Crimbo Challenge, I have decided to move on to Perfectly Plaid. So the last video I showed you how to make a kangaroo card using the Kangaroo and Company as well. And today we are just concentrating on this Perfectly Plaid stamp set. So I am using the trees, I'm using the sentiment, and then inside we've got just Merry Christmas. And we're also using glitter. So we've got a glittery, snowy background. So super cute, super easy, and you can make it as glittery as you like. So let's move these out of the way and let's bring in what you will need to make this card. Okay, so I have got an inside piece which is 10.5 by 14. So this is my measurements. The measurements are below, and they're also on my website, handmadeathudsons.co.uk. And then we've got my card that I use. So this is 29 by 10.5, which is scored at 14.5. So this is my metric. And we have got a piece of card which is 14.5 by 10. So we're just going to have a little bit of extra white on the sides. So you could of course use a coloured card base if you want to for this. Okay, so for this one I am using blending brushes. So I have got some blending brushes. I've got one of the Stampin' Up ones, and I've got one which I think I got from Amazon. Now I do love the Stampin' Up ones. I only have 3 at the moment. So I've got Night of Navy ink, I have got Real Red ink, and I have got Mossy Meadow ink. And they shouldn't be over there. I'll put them over here. Okay, so we're going to start with, need to find another brush. So I've got one for the Mossy Meadow. So we're going to start by using the Mossy Meadow ink to ink up the trees. So I'm going to move these out of the way, and I'm going to bring in some scrap paper to protect my paper, and I have no idea what that is, Cloud9. I'm also going to take my tree, and you'll notice I've got an extra stamp that I've added to that. Nope, that's not my tree. I can tell I'm tired today. I'm really not paying attention. And then add that to a block. So I have got the D block, which is super good, and it doesn't matter where on the block it is. Actually, it probably does. Right, so as I said, this is a blending brush. You can use the Stampin' Up ones. You can find them all over the place. This one's from Amazon. I think it actually might be a craft blending brush, but what I wanted was to be able to ink up my stamp, but I don't tend to use, actually it doesn't matter with this. So normally I'd say blot it off, but because I'm actually going to do different generations, it doesn't matter. Because I don't use Mossy Meadow enough, I don't want to give it a permanent Stampin' Up blending brush. So I'm going to start off, I want the top part of the card, so I'm going to start off right in the middle, and I'm going to put my tree down. So that should be my darkest tree. And then I'm going to put one just slightly to the back, like so. And then my third generation is going right here. And that's a bit lighter in the background there. And so then again, I'm going to take my blending brush. I'm going to do it lighter this time. And then I'm going to stamp this side. Oh, she says, let's try again. And then I'm going to stamp the background. So we've got one that's brighter, two lighter, and then two in the background. So that's that for Mottimo Day. So I'm going to put this away now. And then I am going to take out my Night of Navy. I don't know where my new Night of Navy ink has gone. It's somewhere around. And then I'm going to ink up my Stampin' Up blending brush, which I adore. Take that off. And then I'm going to rub this in and on. So I'm doing this in circles. I'm getting rid of more of the ink at the top. And then as the ink is getting lighter and lighter, I'm just rubbing down into the gaps between the trees. And then if you don't think that that is bright enough, we can start again. We can go in from the top. In circular motions. And then go down into the trees. So there we go. So we've coloured down into the trees, we've not got rid of these trees, and then we've got the crisp white snow at the bottom, and then of course because the trees aren't straight, you haven't got a straight line. And I'm just going to do a bit more at the top and down the side. So that's our background. And then to finish the background off, we are going to add some glitter. But I think we might do the red stamping first. So I have got the hoping that your busy year comes together in Christmas cheer. So I've got that on a block, and I'm going to move this to the side a second. So what I'm going to do is to take one of the blending brushes, take the red ink, real red. Ooh, she says. And I am going to add red ink to here. And I would like this to be shiny. So I have got a sponge dauber, finger dauber, and I have going to take some all-purpose champagne mist ink, or you could use Frosty White. I'm just not sure what that is. I'm shaking this, and then in the lid there will be some ink, and I'm taking that onto my sponge dauber. And then what I'm going to do is to ink up the stamp. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to close this a second, because otherwise I'm going to get it everywhere. I'm going to move my card. And then I'm going to stamp this down. And when it comes back up, we've got a reddish, I think I didn't clean the stamp properly, sentiment there. And then, oh, it's purple because I think I used Night of Navy on it. And then we're going to do the same with the Merry Christmas for the inside. So I'm going to get the inside of my card, which is 10 by, should be 10, which is 10 by 14. And I am going to do the same again. So I'm going to take the real red I'm going to add ink to my brush. I'm going to brush this on. I'm going to take my sponge dauber. I'm going to add some glitter or sparkly ink. Then I'm going to stamp this down. And there we have a Merry Christmas, which is a little bit sparkly. That one's fine. It doesn't matter. Oops. I might need to redo that again at some point. So what I'm going to do now is to decorate my card. So let's move out everything that I don't need. The only thing I would say is that you want to clean your stamps off as soon as possible to get the sparkly ink off. So I'm going to move these out of the way. And let's get some sparkle in the situation. So if you go to the Chloe School of Thought, there is never enough glitter. Let's move this Merry Christmas out of the way. And this is a really simple way of adding sparkle to your background. Actually, don't like the shadow. All I'm going to do is to take the fine tip glue to pen, and I'm just going to check that it is working because it has a habit of being mischievous. Okay, that's fine. And then all you're going to do is to hold it lightly and to dot. And then if you squeeze lightly, it will just let a little bit out, which can become snowdrops. So then you are just randomly adding glue to your background. Which is a bit noisy. I should actually say this is another way of making snow backgrounds, shouldn't I? But I don't think you want to do that for a huge card. Huge card. And then you want to put your lid back on your detail glue as soon as possible, because otherwise it dries out. And then you want to take your glitter. So I've got the retired glitter here, but as I've mentioned in another video, there are lots of glitters out there. It doesn't have to be this one. Well, it can't be this one because it's retired, but any glitter that you may have can be perfect, or will be perfect. So my problem here is probably that it's sticking to the ink that I've just blended. Give it a blow. So there we go. We've got some, I don't know whether that's ink. It looks like a piece of, so I managed to get a dark line. Looks a bit like a hair, but it's okay. So there we have our card, and then we just need to put it together. So then you would take your card blank and your multi-purpose glue, and don't do a me, which is I add too much glue, so I'm just going around the outside and then across the middle. Make sure that it's the right way up. I have such a bad habit of sticking things in the wrong place. So we're just going to add that into the middle. And then we're also going to add this to the front. So again, we're just going to go down the sides, around the middle, and then across. And then we're just going to stick this so that there is a small gap on either side, which is why I like using, and also let your snowflakes dry, which is why I like using Tombow, because if it's too far over one way or the other, I've now got that song in my head, oh dear. Then you can make it right. That will do. And then obviously, no, what's going on there? That's super weird. So that side's not too bad, but that side seems to be a little wonky. Oh well, it's a handmade card. So that you would do then is just to make it prettier. So you would do that by simply bringing in a trimmer, and you just want to take off any excess at the bottom. So that wants to go. And then if you want to, you can also then just check, which I didn't do, that it's the right size. And it is. Curious, it must be my inside piece that's hard. So there we go. Note to self, don't wreck the play. So note to self, always clean your stamp. But here we go, we've got a gorgeous simple Christmas card which uses the Stampin' blending brushes and the gorgeous perfectly played stamp set, and I think that looks rather cute. So thank you very much for pressing play on the video today. If you've got any questions, you can contact me, Claire at handmade@hudsons.co.uk. You can find me on the Tinterweb, Handmade at Hudsons, or you can find me on Facebook and Pinterest. And my moral of the story today is always clean your stamps or you're going to end up with purple. Thank you very much. Bye.